Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you. If you're watching the video feed, we're having some technical difficulties here. We'll try to get that dialed in the next couple of minutes. Today is the 6th day of September 2013, the 6th day of September 2013. Welcome to the second hour of FireYourMDNow.com. Howard from Arizona has been waiting for a long time to talk to me. Hey, Howard, it's your turn. You are live.
It's my second turn. I met you in Queen Creek when you were here in Arizona earlier this year.
I had a great time in Arizona. I love going to Arizona, especially when it's winter in Chicago. I love going to Arizona.
I have to come up to Prescott Valley where it's 5,000 feet, not down in Death Valley.
Oh, is that right? So you must be getting snow then in the winter months.
We get a little, but it doesn't stay on the ground. This is a great place to live.
Prescott Valley?
Prescott Valley. It's 80 miles up the hill from Phoenix.
Gotta love it. All right, I'm in.
I do.
Let's go.
Okay, I had a second friend come down with rosacea a week or so ago, and I was wondering if you had any words about what causes it and if there's something to be done about it.
Yeah, rosacea, it's a simple vitamin B like baby deficiency, specifically vitamin B12. Although, the B vitamins are like wolves. They all run in packs, and if there's not enough of one B vitamin to cause an active symptom, then guaranteed there aren't enough of the others. And also, lacking vitamins, the body can make use of minerals, but lacking minerals, vitamins are useless. So whenever we are attempting to give the body extra vitamins, like, if someone had scurvy and we wanted to give them vitamin C, because that's, what would be mandatory here. When we're giving vitamins, we need to just make sure that the minerals are there also, because if the body doesn't have any minerals, it doesn't matter how many vitamins you give them, because the vitamins ain't going to work.
That I got already. Yeah,
okay. So the secret sauce here, in addition to the Healthy Start Pack, would be the De-Stress, or the Ultimate Daily. De-Stress are easier to swallow, so I would get the De-Stress to 1 bottle a month, and that should cut it in about 14 days. There should be a noticeable positive change. But let's not overlook the obvious, right? Whenever we see a skin condition, and I don't care what it is, whether it's rosacea or eczema or psoriasis or whatever, then there's always a component of an inappropriate food going into the body, always. So,
knowing these guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, so they need to be gluten-free, and I don't know how easy a sell that's going to be. But even if they don't want to go gluten-free, just to kind of get your foot in the door, if you gave them 1 bottle of the plant minerals and 1 bottle of the De-Stress, they'd see a remarkable change. And then when they see a remarkable change, you might then be able to have a little bit more leverage in their lives, by telling them, look, if you think this stuff made you feel this much better, you have no idea what you're missing. And so we'd like to hook you up with the rest of it. That might be a strategy that you could use.
Well, I've known the one guy since the 60s, so I'm pretty sure that he's got rocks between the ears, but I'll try. And, by the way, I'm the Howard from the Get 90 team in Arizona.
Oh, Howard, it's a pleasure to meet you, at least auditorily here. Appreciate everything that you guys are doing down there. What's your experience been like, Howard, in trying to, in sharing this message with people? How many people do you have to talk it up to in order to get one person to listen?
I don't think I actually counted. I've only been doing this for, less than a year, and we've got 70 people.
Yep.
Biggest disappointment is not being able to help my sister because she thinks MDs are God.
Yeah, well, there you go.
She has Crohn's disease, and he didn't talk to her about gluten intolerance, doesn't think she has to get off gluten. I gave up talking to her.
Well, see, the thing about this is, number one, I don't know if this is going to be of any solace to you, but, very few people in my family listen to me. So people that are your relatives are the hardest people to convince here, so I wouldn't feel too bad about that. Although,
I just figured I'll go find somebody who wants help.
Well, it's hard to watch people suffer needlessly, right? But so this is the deal. So and again, the secret here to the health enrollment. And the health enrollment is different, of course, than the business enrollment. But the secret to the health enrollment is bringing people to the expert, right? So the enrollment that seems to be working best for people in longevity, the health enrollment is like this. Listen, I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. If I invite you to this webinar, will you watch it? If I send you a link to this video, will you watch it? If I lend you this CD, will you listen to it? Whatever. So instead of trying to tell people what they need to do, and honestly, the more the time that you spend with longevity, the more frustrating that this becomes, because you actually know what they should do, but if you tell them what to do, they're not going to listen to you. It's very frustrating.
I don't try to tell them, but I mean, if something the conversation, I do try to get them to listen to either you and Healing is Easy, or Wallach and Dead Doctors Don't Lie is a place to start. My own story is that I've gotten rid of arthritis, diabetes, and high blood pressure doing what you guys tell me.
How long were you arthritic?
Oh, geez, I don't know, 30, 40 years.
And what part of your body was it in?
First place was in my hands when I was probably 30.
Wow.
Both my parents had it, although I know that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I bought a bowling ball now, go bowling with my granddaughter. I gave bowling up 20 years ago because it hurt my hands too much.
Son of a gun. Don't you just love it? I mean, isn't it awesome?
Yeah, I mean, this is my hobby now. I retired at the end of 2011, wanted to do something to help people, to kind of give back, and this is what I do now. And when I got the first check, I didn't even know it was coming. It just surprised me. And now I got stock options, which I didn't know were coming either. And
I know.
I guess the next level gets me a car bonus.
Yeah, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, right? I mean, this is, and you're kind of just doing it by hook or by crook, and you're part-time, and you've already got 70 people in your organization.
Yeah, the biggest accomplishment has been a gentleman that I got introduced to his sister that we had in the Mesa event when we had one, and he was on the verge of major surgery that might have ended up with a colonoscopy bag. And so he stalled off his gastroenterologist for a couple of weeks while he started heavily on the products. He went back for a checkup, and the doctor was flabbergasted that he could see that the guy's colon was healing.
Unbelievable. Now, did the doctor ask him what he did?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
just
won't
burn
stop
you?
it, see, because Alan, even though he was going there to get probed, took a Wallach Dead Doctors CD with him, and the doctor said, okay, he'd listen to it. Now, I wouldn't bet on it, because when my doctor approved me getting off all my meds about 8 weeks ago now, he'd had a CD for a while and hadn't listened to it, so...
It's amazing to me that even when these people have direct evidence right in front of them, I mean, living, breathing testament to the effectiveness of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. And this isn't like, some crackpot on the internet telling you what to do. This is Dr. Wallach, arguably the most researched. I mean, there's no MD in the entire state of Arizona that even comes close to Dr. Wallach's academic resume. Let alone his clinical experience. They're not going to listen to him. They're not even going to want to know. I mean, this underlines the pig-headedness of the profession, which is exactly why, Howard, I've chosen to name this radio show Fire Your MD Now for this very reason.
I fully understand. I was lucky enough on one of Dr. Wallach's trips here to get him one-on-one for breakfast, and all told, I guess we spent about 3 hours. The man is clearly a genius, and he's also humble.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story about
his message, and the stupid people don't listen.
Well, it's like Noah's Ark, right? I mean, it's like Noah's Ark, right? Who listened to Noah? Nobody, and they all drowned. So it's the same thing here. Let me tell you a story about how humble Dr. Wallach is. This was about 5 years ago, I think, maybe 6, at the annual Longevity Convention, right? And back in the day, before FDI hooked up with the Longevity Conventions, there were maybe 60, 70, maybe 100 people there, right? And I think this was in Las Vegas, and it was the last day of the convention, and, there were all these speakers that were lined up, and everybody was sitting in the audience waiting for the next speaker. And a very well-dressed African-American guy showed up, and he spoke to Vanessa Hunter, who was the organizer of the event at the time. He says, Miss Hunter, I'm wondering if I can have a few minutes to talk about what Dr. Wallach has done for my mother up on the stage. And Vanessa Hunter didn't know who he was. And she said, well, geez, if we let everybody, she thought this guy was just a member of Longevity who wanted to give a testimony, right? And she said, well, look, if we let everybody do this, then, we'd never have time to do anything else, because there's hundreds of people in the audience who, each of, Dr. Wallach has saved their mother's life. And she said, well, no, we can't do it. And he said, well, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Martin Luther King Jr., and Dr. Wallach saved my mother's life, and he didn't tell anybody that he'd done it. And that's why I want to come here today and tell Dr. Wallach's followers what he did for my mother. And she was able to march in the Million Man March because of what Dr. Wallach did for her arthritic knees. And Dr. Wallach didn't tell anybody that he fixed Coretta Scott King's knees. He didn't tell anybody about it. And this is, again, a testament to Dr. Wallach's humility, and I'm right there with you 100%. No kidding. Dr. Wallach is a genius, and the more that we can do to forward his message. And man, if people don't want to listen to it, they don't want to listen to it, and let's just move on and find somebody who will. Howard, I appreciate you and everything that you do down there in Arizona. I'll look forward to coming to Prescott when I can. Give Longevity a call and request it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we roll, baby. One healthy body at a time. Stay tuned. We're going to talk to Vicki in North Carolina when we come back. And we're back. Dr. Peter Glidden here, September 6, 2013. If you were watching the live video feed online or through YouTube, we had some technical troubles, and it just went away, and I have no idea. We're doing it all on through Google. And through Google Hangout, and apparently the technology is not 100% dialed in yet. So we're going to try to iron out those bugs, although I think it's on Google's end, not on ours. We're going to keep trying here, folks, because that's what we do. We're going to be as technologically advanced as we can to get our message into the homes of as many people as can, because as Howard just gave testament to, this stuff works. High blood pressure, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, gone, 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 and gone. And the MDs didn't want to know how or why. Now, can you imagine that? You've dedicated your entire life to the delivery of medicine, and you see a remarkable healing that's completely outside of your ken in front of your face, and you don't ask why? Fire your MD. Fire your MD now. Let's go to North Carolina and see what Vicki's up to. Hey, Vicki, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Vicki?
How's it going?
Going fine. How's every little thing down in North Carolina?
Everything is going great. Going great.
Fantastic. So what's happening? Who's losing their hair? Someone losing their hair down there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a customer that he has patches, hair loss patches in his head, and I was wondering what would you recommend for that. And he's using that Provilius minoxidil hair treatment.
Yeah. That doesn't really get to the root cause. That's called male pattern baldness, right? And when that happens, when the hair falls out in like patches, there's two possibilities. The first possibility is that it's just massive vitamin deficiencies and mineral deficiencies in his body, and his body is robbing nutrients from the hair in order to keep things like the liver and the kidneys and the heart healthy, right? So, it's kind of like, well, you're going to rob from Peter to pay Paul, and this is what happens when the body doesn't have enough nutrients. You have to steal it from non-essential tissue. You can live without your hair, right? You can live without your fingernails, but you can't live without your heart. So when the going gets rough and the body starts running on fumes, it will often steal nutrients from non-essential tissue to keep the essential tissue alive. That's a distinct possibility. The other possibility, because of the way that this is happening, is that it is a tin deficiency. How about that? Tin. They didn't know that was an essential mineral. Well, guess what it is? A tin deficiency will cause a pattern of baldness in mice. So we anticipate that it'll do the same thing in humans. So where do we get tin from? Well, that's the plant-derived minerals. So the recommendation for this young man is simple and straightforward, Vicki. It would be one healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of plant minerals per 50 pounds of body weight per month. And he can either do the plant minerals or the cherry mints. Cherry mints, of course, taste better. And, everybody that I talk to, whether they have a problem or not, I recommend they take selenium, because selenium is such a really great anti-cancer treatment. It reduces the chances of breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, and colon cancer, and that's a pretty good lineup. So I recommend everybody take selenium regardless of what their problem is, and that recommendation is one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. So that's what I'd get him started with. It's either one or the other. It's either a tin deficiency or a tin deficiency and multiple nutrient deficiencies. It's probably the second, right? And, if he really wants to go all in and optimize his health and listen to you, which he would be wise to do, then he would also eliminate the 10 bad foods. That might be a hard sell, though. What do you think?
No, I don't think it'll be too hard. I believe he would be
all right. Able to do it? All right. Well, look, the secret sauce here would be the minerals, right? So you want to give him more minerals. The normal dose of the plant minerals is one bottle per 100 pounds per month, but because of this particular set of symptoms, I'm going to recommend he do one bottle of the minerals per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and he should do that for 3 months before he dials it down. And whenever we give people a comprehensive program, in addition to seeing if his hair starts to come back in, he also wants to pay attention to everything else, right? His mood, his energy, his appetite, his sleep, everything. Because this isn't really a hair loss treatment, it's a Vicky's friend treatment, and that's always better. Thanks for the call, Vicky. You're the greatest. Keep up the good work down there in the great state of North Kakalaki. Going to Tennessee when we come back to talk to Karen. Stick around. Hey, there's some ZZ Tops for my Texas listeners. Gotta love it. Gonna go to Tennessee now and see what Karen is up to. Hey, Karen, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi. I just had to leave the room. My dogs are barking. Sorry about that. I do want to tell you that my husband and I are happy customers of 3 weeks. I'm so excited. We love the results already. Woohoo! Great. And I came in kind of skeptical, but I'm telling you, this is changing my life. But we do need to step it up because my husband has high blood pressure and I have asthma, so the next order's got to have some more good stuff. What I'm calling you about, though, is my son, my daughter, and my husband may have a parasite problem. What would you recommend for that?
Well, the operative word in that phrase is may have. Why do you think they have a parasite problem?
They all have the same symptom, and it's not a pretty one.
So tell me what it is. I'm sitting down, and I'm a doctor, so it's fine.
Okay. They all are experiencing a skin irritancy in the behind area.
Skin irritation around the butt, right?
Yes.
And how long has it been persisting?
I hate to say it, but over a year.
Why do you think it's a parasite?
Well, my son and my daughter both went in, and actually my husband too went in and had it looked at. They They were given cream. It never went away. There's been a little bit of bloating in the stomach. Like we looked it up on the internet and just kind of looked at some of the symptoms of a parasite. And very outdoorsy, our family is. And
well, is there
concluded that maybe this is what it was?
Yeah, well, it's armchair diagnostics. So, what is right. Is there any itching, like in the middle of the night, itching or crawling in the middle of the night?
I don't know about that because it's not me. I can tell you that it is the most annoying itching in the world. It's just nonstop.
All right, so here's the deal. Where you live in Tennessee, right?
Uh-huh. And we just moved here not long ago and never had this problem before.
From where? Where'd you move from?
Wyoming.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, so there's one thing you might want to consider. Now, before we start getting crazy about parasites, it's definitely in the diagnostic array here. It's possible that this is a parasite. There's a lab in Illinois. It's called Doctor's Data. Doctor's Data. All right, Doctor's Data. Look it up on the Internet. Monday, call the lab and see if they can give you the name of a practitioner, a licensed practitioner in the state of Tennessee who does their lab testing. Because you can't order a lab test directly from Doctor's Data. You can only order it through a doctor who has an account with Doctor's Data. And I think Tennessee is covered. I'm not sure, though. But they should be able to give you a heads up on that. So there's a test. It's called it's just called a digestive stool analysis with parasitology. It's a digestive stool analysis with parasitology. And if there's a parasite in your gut, then this test has a very high degree of sensitivity and specificity to spot it, which is important because intestinal parasites are like cats. There's a lot of different types of cats, like dogs. There's a lot of different types of dogs, right? Mm-hmm. So if this lab, which is one of my favorite diagnostic labs in the world, if this lab finds a parasite, then they will grow the parasite on a little culture medium, and then they'll attempt to kill the parasite with a number of different things, prescription medication and natural herbs. And then they send you a report that says, well, you have, parasite A, and the best thing to kill it is this prescription medicine or this particular herb. And then and it's a million times easier to... If you do have a parasitic infection, it's a million times easier to kill it with a very specific agent than it is to just give a whole-body napalm bomb that's going to kill a lot of things in addition to maybe kill the parasites, right?
I know. There are all these cleanses out there.
So don't pay.
You got to take the Paracleanse. My gosh.
It's good for the company, right? Because it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars and weeks and weeks and weeks. So, now the other thing to just understand here, right, is even if we're trying to kill a parasite with an herb, the herbs that we use are toxic. That's how they kill things. I mean, they're toxic herbs. So, you don't want to be taking toxic killer herbs into your body if it's the wrong one for the parasite, number one, and number two, you don't want to be doing that for, more than 3-4 weeks at a time because it's dangerous. So,
right, yeah.
If we think that it's a parasite, then we need to get it diagnosed and which species and genre of parasite it is, and then have a culture and sensitivity done to see which substances kill it most appropriately. In this lab, look, I've been doing this for 24 years clinically, and this lab in Illinois is the best lab in the world to figure out which type of bug it is, if there are any bugs at all, and what to do to kill it. It's called Doctor's Data. So,
right, and they can find a licensed practitioner in Tennessee, hopefully near us, that we can go to have this test done?
Yeah, you got to order this test through a license. Okay. The chiropractors are able to order these tests, naturopaths.
Oh, okay.
So you don't just have to go to an MD, thank God.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad I asked it. Well, that hasn't worked yet, so.
Well, I know, right?
Yeah.
Now listen, we don't want to overlook the obvious, Karen, because there might be something else at play here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever there are chronic digestive issues, and this is specifically, this is the south pole of the digestive apparatus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would encourage everybody in your family, as a little in-house experiment, for 1 month, 4 weeks in a row, to go gluten-free.
Okay, we started that.
Okay.
Well, my husband did. My daughter has actually been gluten-free for several months.
And there's been no change?
No, she's had other changes, but not that particularly.
Okay,
She's had
so
other really good changes, wonderful changes.
Was she asthmatic?
No, I'm the asthmatic person, but she's had a lot of other skin irritancies and other issues that are getting. Well, she's just had a lot of other issues.
And they're getting better with medical nutrition and a clean diet, right?
Oh, yeah, and she's 100% believer of that. She would like to start this product, the Healthy Start Pack, and I want to help her to get it. It's, kind of a baby steps here. We got to just try to do what we can.
Yeah, I get it. And so what you want to do then initially for her would be give her the plant minerals.
Plant minerals? Okay.
Yeah, that's only $20 a bottle. And the EFAs.
Okay.
Get her the EFAs, because the and you need to take the EFAs because the.
Yeah. What do you recommend for me? I've been on asthma medication for 30 years.
Yeah,
and it's my goal. And if
how's that
I
working
can get
for
off
you?
my asthma medicine, I'm going to tell you, you will hear me shouting from Tennessee.
Well, thank God for Dr. Wallach. Asthma is caused by a deficiency in essential fatty acids. It's kind of like if you have a rubber band and you leave it on the countertop. At first, you take it out of the bag, and it's nice and rubbery and stretchy, right? But if you leave it on the countertop and it dries out, you go to try to stretch it, it snaps like this, just snaps in two, right? Because it's lost its elasticity. Well, when your lungs lose their elasticity, it's hard to breathe. And the only reason that your lungs have lost their elasticity is because the lung tissue has run out of the nutrients it needs to maintain their elasticity, so to speak.
And see, I was told it was secondhand smoke. That my father smoked in the house, in the car, everywhere, and that my problem was a result of being around secondhand smoke. That's what they told me 30 years ago.
All right, so here's the $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Did your father have asthma?
No.
Now, your father was exposed to primary smoke, not secondhand.
Right.
So if it was the smoke that was causing it, then your father should have had asthma. Because he's getting 1,000 times more smoke than you were.
Right, and my brother, too.
If it was the smoke, then why didn't your father get it? It's nonsense.
I completely agree. It's just, we're so vulnerable to listen to what the doctor says. We put them up on a pedestal and believe every word.
I know, and it's like something in our brain just turns off when the doctor starts talking. I don't know what the heck that is. I swear to God, a person could put a white coat on and strap a stethoscope around their neck and tell someone to jump off the roof of the hospital, and they do it.
Well, and I had a tumor on my thyroid. My thyroid level was normal. There was no cancer in the tumor. It was aspirated, no cancer, and they wanted to remove my whole thyroid. And I said no. This was 9 years ago, and I stumbled across a book called Natural Cures, and it was a little overwhelming, but I just changed my diet, all natural, all organic. Purified water, no pop, no fast food. I committed to it for 3 months. I was going to commit to a really healthy food style for 3 months because I didn't want my thyroid removed. And within about a month and a half, my tumor was gone, and it has never returned. And it was about the size of a 50-cent piece. Believe me, I believe that a lot of that is just hooky, and I'm so thankful that I don't have to take Synthroid and go regularly for blood exams and have to mess with medicine. I'm so thankful.
Well, and belief is irrelevant. You know, what's relevant is truth. 2 + 2 is 4. No matter how much if you took LSD and you believed you're tripping on LSD and you really believe that you could fly, well, guess what? You jump off of the roof of a building, you're gonna crash and burn because gravity is real, regardless of what you believe. And you know, language is important. So this is not inside the realm of belief. This is just physiological fact. 2 + 2 is 4, right?
Right.
And now multiply yourself, your experience with your health by 300 million.
Oh, I know.
And that's why we have a healthcare crisis in the United States, because everybody goes to the MD. The MD can't fix a damn thing. And they medicate the hell out of you until you're in the weeds, and then passes for the best healthcare in the world. But I digress. Look, I'm running up against the clock. What's your body weight, Karen?
Okay, I'm 111 pounds.
All right, so to support and promote the structure and function of your lungs, the recommendation would be 1 anti-aging healthy start pack and one bottle of EFAs at the 180 count, and 2 bottles of selenium a month. That's 2 selenium, 1 EFA at the 180 count, and 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per month. And what your husband needs to do is 2 anti-aging healthy start packs. 2 anti-aging healthy start packs, 4 bottles of selenium, and 1 extra bottle of Beyond OsteoFX a month. 99 times out of 100, high blood pressure is a simple calcium deficiency. So we need to give him more calcium. We need to give you more EFAs. Eliminate the 10 bad foods one day at a time. You are going to be screaming from the rooftops, and I can't wait. Keep up the good work, Karen. You're the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all over the country today. You know, longevity works. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. What are you waiting for? Back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you, wrapping it up. Friday, September 6, 2013. So, you know, we've heard a lot of unsolicited testimonials today about the wonders and the benefits of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, which begs the question, I mean, how bad is it going to have to get before you take the plunge? I mean, what the heck are you waiting for? You know, I'm not telling you to eat earwigs. What I'm telling you to do is give your body the raw materials that it needs from dust where you made. You know what the dust is? Minerals. Your body is minerals. It's minerals and vitamins and amino acids. 66% of your nutrient needs are minerals, for goodness sake. If you want to prove it to yourself for, you know, a pittance, order 1 bottle of the Cherry Mints or the plant-derived minerals. It's $20 plus shipping. Take 1 ounce twice a day for 14 days and see if you notice the difference. If you don't, I'll eat my hat. This is what we do. We work one person at a time, forwarding our message. And, you know, what's going to happen 100 years from now is that medical nutrition is going to be the norm. And most medical doctors, most medical professionals in this country are just going to do medical nutrition, and there's going to be a handful of MDs who do surgery and trauma care. And it's all going to sort itself out, because even when the industry is monopolized by even when an aspect of society is monopolized, as the medical industry is by the pharmaceutical companies, the truth will out. You know, the truth is, when you've experienced the truth, you're in its velvet grasp forever. Nutrients work. Your body loves nutrients. You feel better when your body's nutrified, and most chronic illnesses are resolved to a remarkable degree when your body has all of the raw materials that it needs to function properly. So for goodness sake, give it a try. And, you know, healing is easy. If you're up against a blood pressure issue, if you're up against the blood sugar issue, the recommendation, 1 healthy blood sugar pack. If you're up against the blood pressure issue, the recommendation, 1 healthy heart pack. If you're up against a bone and joint problem, the recommendation, 1 healthy bone and joint pack. If you have a diagnosis revolving anything in the digestive tract, the recommendation, 1 healthy digestion pack. And if there's nothing wrong with you, it's 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. You don't need an office visit. You don't even need to call me on the radio to figure it out, because healing is easy, and Dr. Wallach has done all of the heavy lifting for you. Longevity is delivering boilerplate, science-based, clinically verified nutritional recovery programs for the masses. They're available right now, today. They're a mouse click away. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the longevity button, and voila, you're in, baby. And if you really want to take it to the next level, if you're also tired of struggling financially, if you're afraid of the mortgage payment due date, if you're horrified by having to pay 25% on your credit card, which is, Shylock rate, then, get your financial freedom back by becoming a longevity distributor. We'll hold your hand. You don't even need to know how to spell vitamin to make this business work. It's not an overnight pipe dream business sensation, but it's good, sound economic sense. It's a tried and true, simple system that hundreds of people have made millions of dollars with, and they're not any smarter than you. For goodness sake. Healing is easy, and financial freedom happens one day at a time with Longevity's networked business model. This is a network business, which has the potential and the possibility to bring profound residual income financial benefits to the table to the degree that compound interest can. Remember my old friend Ben Franklin, my relative Ben Franklin? Compound interest is one of the greatest. There are a few things in nature as powerful as compound interest. Well, one of them is a networked business, because you get paid for a long, long time on the efforts that you made today. It's a wonderful thing, folks. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the longevity button and join the cause. I look forward to meeting you in person someday. And until that happens, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden, wishing you a healthy and happy and prosperous weekend. God willing, I'll be back on Monday. See you then.